This is why your life hasn't changed yet. If your life hasn't changed yet, let me ask you something uncomfortable, but powerful. What if the problem isn't time, luck, or opportunity? What if it's identity? What if the reason everything feels stuck is that you're trying to build a new life while still operating from an old version of yourself? Most people believe change happens when circumstances improve. More money, more confidence, more motivation. But real change rarely starts on the outside. It begins when the way you see yourself shifts. Until that happens, no habit, strategy, or opportunity will fully stick. Think about this carefully. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, delays, doubts, or settles, your actions will quietly align with that, even when you consciously want more. That's why progress feels temporary. You change your actions, but not the story you tell yourself. Here's the hard truth most people avoid. Your current life is a reflection of who you believe you are, not who you wish you were, not who you say you want to become, but who you consistently identify as when no one is watching. Your standards, decisions, and limits all come from that place. So ask yourself this: who are you being right now? Are you someone trying to change or someone who has decided to change? Those two identities lead to entirely different outcomes. One waits for motivation. The other moves even when motivation is absent. Many people stay stuck because changing identity feels risky. The old version of you might be unhappy, but it's familiar. And familiarity feels safe, even when it's painful. Growth requires letting go of patterns that once protected you but now hold you back. And that can feel like losing a part of yourself. But what if that's precisely the point? Your life doesn't change when you learn something new. It changes when you decide something new about who you are. The moment you stop saying, "I hope one day," and start saying, "This is who I am now," everything begins to shift. Slowly at first, quietly, but permanently. Let me ask you a powerful question. If someone followed you for an entire day, would they clearly see the future you say you want? Or would they see habits, reactions, and routines that belong to an old identity? Awareness of this gap is not meant to shame you. It's intended to wake you up. Self-awareness is uncomfortable because it removes excuses. When you become aware, you can no longer pretend you don't know why things haven't changed. But awareness is also freedom, because once you see the pattern, you can interrupt it. Here's something important. Identity is not built through big declarations. It's built through small, repeated decisions. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, honesty over avoidance, presence over distraction, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. One choice won't change your life, but repeated choices create a new normal. That's why waiting for a big moment is a trap. The fundamental transformation happens in ordinary moments, when you keep a promise to yourself, when you act in alignment, even when it's inconvenient. When you stop negotiating with habits you know are holding you back. Ask yourself this: what would someone who already has the life I want do in this situation? Then do that before you feel ready. Identity follows action faster than motivation ever will. Another reason life hasn't changed yet is that many people try to add new behaviors without removing old ones. You can't build a new identity on top of constant self-sabotage. Growth requires subtraction, fewer distractions, fewer excuses, fewer environments that pull you back into old patterns. This doesn't mean becoming harsh or extreme. It means becoming intentional, calm, clear, decisive. The most powerful people aren't the loudest or most aggressive. They're the ones who know who they are and act accordingly. Let this sink in. The future version of you is watching what you do today, not what you plan, not what you say, what you consistently choose. And every day you delay alignment, you reinforce the identity you say you want to leave behind. But here's the good news. You can shift identity at any moment, not by changing everything overnight, but by changing one decision today, one boundary, one habit, one honest action that proves to you that you are no longer the same person. So if your life hasn't changed yet, don't panic. Pause. Get curious instead of critical. Question what you accept, what you avoid, and who you're choosing to be. Change begins quietly, the moment you stop waiting for permission and start living as your future self. When identity shifts, life follows.